adversity? Bring it. The struggle? We welcome it. Snooze on life? Never that. We are Dave Regina and Mike Pirelli, and this is the No Snooze Podcast. Come on.
Before we dive into today's episode, we want to simply say thank you for your support. For season 2, we're running a couple giveaways and we'll be selecting a couple of you to win some No Snooze merch, some products over at Orgain.com, or a $50 Amazon gift card. If you enjoy the podcast and find value in what we're doing, all you have to do is subscribe to us, leave us a 5-star review on Apple, and DM us on Instagram at No Snooze Podcast, letting us know you've entered the giveaway. Thanks to all of you, the No Snooze Podcast is climbing the charts, and we're well on our way to spreading this message to the masses. Enjoy today's episode. Mike, open us up.
We're back with the No Snooze Podcast with a very special guest for a very special event at Maggie Spillane's in Mount Vernon, New York. Dave, what are we doing today?
Yeah, so first and foremost, we want to say thank you to Dave, the owner and the operator here at Maggie Spillane, the Ale House in Mount Vernon. Beautiful place, great vibe, great food, and I'm going to go ahead and say that this is by far the best rooftop available in Westchester County, New York. You agree with that?
Yes, sir.
I would live
agree
up
with
here
that.
for a week, right? I would live up here if they allowed it for promotion.
Yeah. A couple housekeeping things just before we get into the interview. I want to say thank you to PSA Cardinals for sponsoring this episode here today. We want to say thank you to Kai Vision Productions for the audio visual.
Yep, he worked hard today.
We want to make sure that we give Big Frank, I know he's sitting down, but how tall are you, Frank?
6'11".
6'11". I think you're
you
about
just
6'10".
Just go with 7 feet.
I don't know. So we're happy to have Frank here. He is ESPN's top. He's ranked number 22 on the top 100 list. Out of Pennsylvania, he is the number 1 player. He's got a phenomenal future ahead of him. Today's interview is going to be more about life. We're going to get to know and understand Frank and kind of how he thinks and how his experiences translated into basketball. At the end of the episode, we will get into a college announcement where you're going to go. So, Frank, thank you for joining us on the podcast, man.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, Big Frank. I love that nickname. You get me fired up when I hear that.
Yes, and I was struggling with the proper pronunciation of Frank's last name, but Franck Kepnang, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did I do it right?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
That's impressive.
I did take a little French in high school, though.
He did. We went over this. And that's right. Do you think he would take French? I wouldn't think so.
I don't know. The pronunciation was a little bit heavy.
Right. So, Frank, open us up. Give us a brief background on where you grew up and how you grew up.
So I grew up in a little town in Cameroon called Kepnang, and basically it was only me and my mom. I'm the only child, and just growing up, it was a lot of just go to school, and after school I would always play around with my friends in my neighborhood, and then slowly just play soccer and tennis and basketball. That's how I grew up.
And what was the name of the town again?
Kepnang.
Kepnang. Okay. And my mom, she was a huge role model for you growing up, right?
Yes, sir.
What was your favorite, I guess, characteristic of mom that you envy today?
She was really tough and also really punctual and always about her business. I think one thing that she taught me was if you're gonna do something, do it right, or just don't do it at all. And it's something that like even now I really just go by and really try to integrate it in my life. On a daily basis.
No, that's one of my favorite sayings is if you're going to do what is it? If you're going to, anything worth doing is worth overdoing.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I overdo a lot of stuff sometimes. I get in trouble for it though.
What age was basketball kind of introduced to you? And then I want to know when you realized, when it clicked for you, that basketball can, really be a big part of your future and where you're headed.
Actually, it's a funny story because growing up, the basketball was never around. The main sport in Cameroon is soccer, so that's what everybody taught. That's what everybody watch on a daily basis. But growing up, my main sport was tennis. I played tennis a lot. for 2-3 years, and then the way basketball was kind of introduced to me was truly random, and I believe it was God will, because I was a grocery store getting food, and then one of the coach from the Cameroon junior team, he just approached me and just found me and said, "Hey, basically you tall, and let me introduce you to this game."
I was gonna say, how tall were you at this point?
I was 6'8".
6'8". Okay.
See, Frank, listen to me. If you were in my neighborhood, I'd be recruiting you right off the bat. I'd be walking up and be like, Frank, I got a team. You're on the squad. You'd be like, I don't even know this guy. I'd be like, I'll see you Wednesday.
So you're in the grocery store. Coach comes up to you. He's like, look, I think you need to play basketball. Come check it out. This is the sport, and introduced you that way?
Yes, that's how you introduced me to the sport. And then from there, having that conversation with my mother, because also just kind of letting her know kind of the sport, and because she herself, she was an athlete. She did karate for many years. She was a black belt.
So that's a mother you don't want to.
Yeah,
Black belt in karate.
Yes,
my mom's like a white belt and she beats me.
So she was an athlete herself.
Okay.
But just kind of the basketball dynamic was kind of also new to her. So I had a conversation with her, and then from there, for 2 years, all I did was strict training. I never played any game. I never had like a junior game, little tournament, nothing. I was literally just training.
What was your training regimen like at that time? Like give us an example of drills that you were doing, and you were just practicing every single day at that point.
So every day I will always play with my friends, and I will have practice. But when I was during the break of school, because school was really important for my mother, so when I would have those 2 weeks breaks, and that would happen every 2-3 months. I will wake up in the morning at 7. I will go to the court, and I will work out. That's the first workout. Really focus on ball handling and just the fundamental, like passing, how to properly pass, shooting mechanics, stuff like that. And then I would go back home, and then get dinner, go to class. I was taking class even when I was on break. And then after that in the afternoon, I have another workout where I need to go, and then I usually finish the day by like 7, 8.
And when you practice, were your friends any good that you're playing with, or you're just dominating?
I would say it was a slow process. They would play with people better than me, because they were playing basketball for a long time.
Gotcha.
And I was playing with also people that are way more older than me.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so it was a learning curve, because I had to learn from them and stuff like that. So I was always the best player, I would say.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
I like that.
Yeah, no, and I think athletes, I mean, we kind of always discuss this. Mike was a great intramural athlete at UConn, by the way.
Yeah, we were championship. We beat the girls practice team in the championship. Ask me who hit the winning shot. Ask me. Just ask me.
Who?
I hit it.
Oh.
I hit it. It's my one claim
but
to
I
fame.
think athletes have almost a leg up in life, because you develop a team, you get introduced to some skills that now translate, moving forward. And it doesn't really even have to be anything athletic in life. The skills that are taught at a young age through sport, and obviously Mom had that in karate, that mindset, I think, is why you're going to be so successful. It's not going to be just based off of the skill.
Definitely, I agree.
I want to touch on COVID-19 for a second, right? Because right now we're recording 2020. We're on hopefully the back end / decline of a global pandemic.
Right.
You were a senior when this all transpired. What was that like on your mental and on your mind, knowing that you basically didn't even have a senior season, and you knew that you wanted to go to college and you're a highly recruited athlete? What was that like for you?
Definitely the whole recruiting process during the pandemic. I think nobody in the country could have see the outcome of it, or had any idea how to approach it. So
right.
for it was new for everybody. I believe, like, obviously the whole pandemic in a way fastened the process, make it more quickly that we all anticipated. And the way I took it was that, okay, just take it day by day, because obviously all the rules and regulation, everything changed every hour. So just take every day by day, and kind of that's how I approach every day. That's not only on the court, but also kind of in the classroom. So I make sure I do my business each day, and then I worried about the next thing when tomorrow comes.
Yeah, the one day at a time I think it works for a lot of stuff.
Yes,
And
sir.
was there anything that you think it helped you with having to face that adversity with the COVID and, the global pandemic? Was there more time to work on a certain skill? Was there anything that...
Yes, I mean, since the pandemic, we didn't even have a AU season.
Yep.
So I would say since for like 6 months now, all you get to do is to work out, get better, work on stuff that you struggle with.
Yep.
And I think in a way that's the positive aspect of it, because you get more time to kind of know yourself and work on the area that you struggle with.
Yep.
But also you kind of rest your body, because as an athlete, you it's always season after season after season.
Yeah.
But I think this pandemic kind of put a break on everybody, so you get to rest your body rests a little bit.
Yep.
So which can increase your longevity in the sport later on.
See, I've been resting my body for the last month or so.
Yeah, Mike always rests his body. But actually, to that point, there's a phenomenal interview, and I think we spoke about it before. But Conor McGregor, right? He realized that the biggest difference between him being at an elite level and LeBron James being at an elite level was the fact that he realized that LeBron James was spending over $1 million a year
Right.
on his body, right? So then obviously McGregor implemented that, but the pandemic gave you an opportunity to kind of rest, just in general, rest our bodies, spend no money, which is great. But you also knew that, okay, the mindset is one day at a time. I have to still find ways to get better.
Definitely.
How did you train, though, off the court for a period of time? I mean, were you doing, body weight exercises? How were you staying fit in a time when basically it's like, all right, the world is shut down?
Something that was big for me was to get stronger and to get my shot right. Because obviously the game is evolving, and now it's more spread out. So I need to be able to make shot when time's needed. So my routine was, we will have a workout in the morning, and then during midday I will go to the lift. I will lift, and then at night in the afternoon we have another workout, and that went off over like days and days and days, and we do 5 days a week. So we're gonna have the weekend to kind of rest and just relax, and then go back in on a Monday to Friday, and that just keep going. But also, like, one thing also focus on was also train my mind also. So a lot of meditation and also reading.
Meditation, you said?
Meditation and reading. I think it's something that I find just kind of stay focused and just calm your soul, my soul personally, and just kind of help me focus and straight minded.
Yeah. Do you have like a breathing technique or something? What's your practice?
So I have like an app. Like I use app or just by myself.
Like Headspace or something?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like I would either use Headspace or
nice.
just myself, or I wake up in the morning, kind of you take that time to yourself to focus on how your bodies feel, and just be at peace or relax, or even use it when in time where I found myself stressing a lot. Because one thing I also did this summer, I was also taking 2 classes.
Yeah.
So when you kind of you're trying to do a full year course long in a matter of couple weeks.
Crazy.
So sometimes you get stressed, but it's important to find the time to kind of de-stress and remind yourself why you're doing it in the first place.
I love that. You do have the body that I'm trying to, like a shrunken down version of it. I'm trying to go for long and lean, baby, long and lean. We don't want Dave's a little bulky for me, right?
No, this is nice, man. But it's been what, about almost 2 years since I saw you last?
Right.
You put on a lot of how much weight? 20 pounds at least, right?
I mean, right now I'm weighing 250.
Wow.
250?
Yes, sir.
And that didn't stop Dave, even though you did put on some weight. It didn't stop Dave from thinking he could beat you in horse, right? We had a big argument prior.
Frank, you don't want to document this,
Team
Frank.
Frank.
I'm telling you.
No.
Frank, you don't want to document, so now we have to. Off camera, Frank and I got a little side bet going, and I'm convinced that I will beat you in horse. As long as you're not dunking.
I'm not dunking. I'm not doing no layup. I'm only beating you with shot and under 15 shot.
I love it. I love this. I love the self-confidence. I think self-confidence, routine. I want to touch on PSA, right? So we're fortunate today to have 2 of the 4 founders that are with us. So I want to know exactly what PSA has done for you personally.
Right.
And then we'll go ahead and bring these guys in to speak a little bit more about the program.
No, PSA is my family. I would say like one thing they taught me was to do everything the right way. And I think they do a good job on letting you know like how college would be. I was practice are different from high school practices. If you don't run and touch the line, everybody is paying for it. You really pay attention to every single detail, teach you how to work and how to do things right, not only on the court but also in your life. Because if you're not good at school, they will be on your back. And if the coaches are on your back, your teammate will be on your back. Like, hey, listen, you need to do your homework. Do it right. So I think one thing PSA teach you is how to be a good person on and off the court, and it's something that I can't stress enough. Because every single kid coming to the program, they leave and they are a changed person, 100%.
Yeah, and that is a huge thing, though. But PSA does a phenomenal job, coaching staff to the founders. They really do. And this has now been going on for a long time. All right, so right now we're actually going to welcome Jason Ford, one of the founders of PSA Cardinals. We wanted to bring you in first and foremost to say thank you for being a part of this special journey. And I really envy what you do. And your program has been phenomenal. So can you just give us, I guess, a brief background on how PSA came about and what the program means to you personally?
Sure, no problem. First of all, thank you for having me on, and pleasure to be here for Frank and as he's going through this milestone in his life. But PSA, which stands for Pro Scholars Athletics, is essentially what we call a sports-based college preparatory program. And it's all about creating these moments for guys like Frank, like finding Frank and guys like him as early as possible and helping guide them through their high school and college, middle school and high school careers so that they can get to this moment and be able to choose the school that they want to go to based on the work that they put in, right? So a big thing that we always talk about is like owning our destiny and figuring out what those things are and what they mean, particularly for the young men that we're dealing with, given the kind of world that we live in right now, right? So for, guys that look like me and Frank, opportunities are not something that we can pass up. We have to make sure we're ready for them and do those things. So the creation of the program was really about, our experiences growing up as young men as well, loving the game of basketball and understanding that it's not just a sport, it's a learning tool, and how you can teach a lot of the values and virtues of manhood and just being a good citizen through sports, and then also making sure they're getting quality experience and a quality education. So that's basically the impetus of how we started things. We started about 12 years ago, myself as long as Terrence Munch Williams, Justin Ware, and Andre Charles. And it started out as just helping out in the after school program, volunteering, and kids that wanted to learn how to play. And surely as they got better and, kind of bought into how we were doing things, we saw it as an opportunity to kind of expose them to greater academic opportunities and then help guide them through their middle school and high school careers so they can get to this point.
Wow. Yeah. Keep doing what you're doing because it's definitely working.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, just meeting Frank for the short time we've met is a phenomenal person. Seems like on and off the court, which I think is what you guys, strive for. So
one more question. To the athlete that hasn't reached, PSA yet in the greater New York area, but potentially looks at you guys and says, you know what, I want to play for that program. What is something specific that you look for in that athlete?
It's a good question. Outside of like physical attributes and all those type of things and being able to play, it's one, being willing and ready to put in the work. You have to do the parts, the ugly, the non-sexy things, and learn to value that process. So one, being willing to listen, being coachable, being willing to pay attention to detail and know that the little things matter, and wanting to put forth that effort is something that we feel is important. And then once we see that and when we exhibit that, then it's a lot of like, all right, you're going to make mistakes, but now it's like, how do you go through these? Right. So we talk a lot about things in terms of the differences between reacting and responding. Right. So I predominantly work with like the middle school kids. So a lot of it is kind of teaching them is like, hey, this translates in a certain way. You can react to things in a certain way, but it may limit you. But if you understand how to play the game and know what's going on, you can respond to it differently. And that's what we're challenging people to do, because I'm not coaching that kid for the game that they're playing that time. I'm coaching them for a decision that Frank is about to make in 4 or 5 years from the time we have it. So, but a lot of those lessons you got to teach them when they're 7th and 8th grade, not when they're 11th grade or a senior. So just being around families that are willing to listen, really to kind of like enjoy the journey, so to speak, and stuff like that. So that's what we're really looking for outside of like obviously the talent and the acumen for playing basketball, but you have to want to do some of this stuff, because for some of our families, right, it's taking them out of their comfort zone a lot and being willing to be outside of their comfort zone. So it may mean going to a boarding school. It may mean you need to learn how to study more and whatever, but you have to want to do those things. And if you don't want to do those things or don't want to take shortcuts, you're going to have a hard time in life, but you're definitely going to have a hard time with us.
Wow. No, it's great life stuff. And we actually always talk about the you like the idea of it, or do you really want to do it?
Right.
And when you really want to do something, you're willing to do the uncomfortable stuff. And that's actually the message of our No Snooze podcast here. So it ties in so nicely.
Yeah.
Mike, you have anything for Jason before
I was just going to say, part of me thought that he was asking you for himself to try to get recruited, because he just can't give it up.
My days are over, man.
I'm like, Dave, hang it up. It's over.
My days are over. Jason, thank you.
Yes,
no problem.
thank you very
guys
much.
for having
Thank
me
you.
again. Yeah. All right.
Congratulations on a great program.
All right, guys. So we're back. We actually took a quick pivot because Isaac Green, one of the assistant coaches for the 17U program, is now here. But we definitely did want to shout out Terrence Munch Williams. But Isaac has now stolen your spot. So
Love that move, Isaac. I'm a fan already. It's a great move.
So Isaac, quick, I want to know what I guess was the best thing that you've seen on the court of Frank, and how it's applicable to life in general versus just basketball.
That's a good question. I'd have to think about it.
That's all right.
Yeah, take your time.
I mean, I think the thing that stands out most about Frank, which is why I'm struggling to pinpoint a specific example, is just because of the effort that he's consistently giving, whether that be a practice, whether that be a walkthrough in the hotel or a game. He's always putting himself inside a game, and understanding that everything he does is a reflection of the name on the front of his shirt, and that's for 3 years has been the Pro Scholar Athletics. So it's really been a blessing to see Frank mature. I mean, I remember I was just talking to Mark about it, that I remember when, Frank came over to the United States, and it seems like that was yesterday, and now all of a sudden he's sitting here about to commit to college. So just proud of him. I'm sure everybody that's sitting here is just proud of how far he's come.
Well said. That was a good answer. Good thing you thought about it. And the thing you touched on is, it seems, like I said before, when you meet Frank, he's got a joy. He enjoys this process. He's embracing everything. So that's instilled by stuff that you guys do every day, because he's embracing the whole process. So
All right. And you actually, mentioned the name. So Mark Carter, shout out to Mark Carter and the entire family.
Yeah.
Not only are they live here today, but they happen to be my greatest family friends in life. And exactly what they do in life is what I see put into Frank.
Yeah.
Right. And that whole culture, that family dynamic is something that has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I love that about
and the
PSA
pride,
Cardinals.
right? The
Yeah,
pride.
said it better.
Right.
Yeah, the pride of the shirt too.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Isaac, thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
So this interview is just getting better and better. We are blessed with a live audience, and Coach Isaac happens to be here. Welcome to the podcast, Coach Isaac.
Hey, thank you so much, man. It's a pleasure being here, man. What a great day. This is a blessing. This is a blessing. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Yeah, we're honored to be a part of it. It's been a blast.
Yeah. So give us, I guess, what PSA means to you, and really what your favorite part about being a part of the culture is.
I just want to say one thing before I get started.
Yep.
My passion, my love, my desire for these kids in PSA program is unbelievable. So I get really emotional. So just bear with me. But I'm going to walk through this with you guys. But it's just that passion, that drive for success, for what we do for these kids. That's unbelievable. Great role model right here. Couldn't ask for a better person, person to represent our program right here.
Thank you.
Academically, character, class, finesse, speak 3-4 different languages. Yo, this is what's up. This is really what's up.
Thank you.
Got me all fired up. I'm about to cry over
yeah,
here.
I'm getting
Can't do
emotional. I
this
got the
to me.
chills over here now. No, but on a serious note, so PSA, how did you get involved in it? And what's your favorite part about the culture, man?
What we do, what the product that we put out, the young men that we raise, as soon as they walk in the door, the culture that we provide for them as teaching them how to be pros, this just didn't come overnight. This was a project. As Coach Munch always say, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon.
Wow,
And
I love
we
that.
take that culture to heart. And each and every one of our kids that we bring into the program, we program them to be successful in any aspect of their life. And that's what life is all about.
Right.
And you know what's great about it? This young man right here will give back to the community. They come back, they give, and they're just passionate for what we have done for them as
sure.
young men.
Wow.
Thank you.
Frank, putting you on the spot, what's your favorite thing about Coach?
Oh man. As soon as Coach Ike walked in the gym, he got everything started. He got everybody started. I like the energy, double clap, baby.
I like that. I
Double
heard that before, the double clap.
I gotta call him.
No,
I gotta
no.
call him in the morning when I'm a little sluggish when I'm putting the suit
No,
on.
definitely.
Your energy is infectious.
It doesn't matter what time it is. Coach Ike has always the energy. Doesn't matter what time. 1 a.m. in the airport, he always has the energy.
And that's something that we try to teach our kids, man. No matter what time of the day, those lights are going to shine. And we want our kids to be prepared for those bright lights. And I tell you right now, you got one ahead of you, bro. These lights are going to be bright, and I know he's prepared to shine, Frank.
Thank you.
I love you, man.
Thank you.
And I
Love you too.
I tell you, this kid has one of the best work ethics in our program. We have a lot of great kids, but let me tell you something. That motor never stops. That motor never stops. Frank takes it from the one level to the next level every time he walks on that court, and that's what you call a pro.
Thank you.
Man, I wish we had a game for you to go to play right now. So go watch.
Yeah.
Got me all
Coach,
fired up.
Coach, we thank you, and we thank you for what you do with Pro Scholar Athletics.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for having me, and
Thank
it's a
you.
pleasure
Yeah,
being
yeah.
here, Frank. I love you, and God bless.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Love you too.
Double clap. Everybody, double clap.
That's good stuff. So before we get right into the I guess college commitment announcement, competition is a major thing. Competition is a major thing in life, and obviously a major thing on the basketball court. What is your favorite part, and what do you look forward to about competing every day?
My favorite part about competition is that every time I found someone that when I'm playing against you, which is a little bit harder than, let's say, the previous person that I play against, I always get better. I always end up just, I don't know what it is, but it's almost like I always end up unlocking another level in my talent. I just get better, and I love to compete. I'm a competitor, and just because you need to be like, life is hard, so you really need to have that mindset is that nobody is gonna be better than you, and you just have to take it to heart. And everything you do, it doesn't matter if it's on the court or it's off the court, it's in the classroom. You want to strive in those areas. You go to class, it's like, hey, today I'm gonna answer as many questions as I can, because nobody else is gonna answer as much as question I am. Just participation in classes dominated everything. So I think like I'm a competitor myself, and everything I do, I really try to be the best in that area. Even if it's something that, let's say, I'm not used to or I never done before. Even if I pick up the first time, I always try to be the best at it.
Mindset is phenomenal. Frank.
Dominate everything. I love that.
I got a ton of questions about how you chose the school, but I guess the best way to do it is to show us some visual. Let us know where you're gonna attend this next chapter.
We wanted to take a quick second to let you guys know that we partnered with our good friends over at Orgain.com. We're happy to offer our listeners 30% off by entering the code NOSNOOZE30. Again, that's NOSNOOZE30 for 30% off your first order. If you're on the market for a new protein powder, nutritional shake, protein bar, or Mike's favorite, collagen peptides, Orgain is your one-stop shop. As all of you know, my Crohn's disease is currently in remission, and the only protein I use is from Orgain. My personal favorites are the chocolate peanut butter and the vanilla bean. With the code, you can try a 2-pound tub for under $20. Talk about not snoozing. Go get yours today. Now, back to the epi.
I believe that for to enter the next chapter in my life is best suited in Eugene, Oregon, University of Oregon.
Wow, very nice. Very nice. Wow, you brought me a hat. Oh, you're gonna wear it. All right. Yeah, this is awesome. We have a live audience here at Maggie Spillane, so everybody who has the visual, you'll be attending the University of Oregon next year. Congratulations, Frank.
Thank you.
Congrats. Green looks good on you, buddy.
Yeah. So now I got a ton of questions. Now that it's out there, what was your I guess final decision maker, and when were you like, okay, you know what, I want to go ahead and be a Duck next year?
It was a really long process. And I was fortunate to have amazing people around me to help me making that decision and to go into all the aspects. Obviously, we touched bases on the effect on COVID-19 on my senior year, and it was really a process of, okay, so how am I going to be better in all aspects? One thing is I left my home in Cameroon, like it's a lot of miles back. So for me, I didn't really have any constraint on where I'm going to go in the country because I'm already far away from home. So, and I'm gonna have a home away from home here in New York. So for me, I didn't have a preference. But like in terms of my academic, that was the most important part. They have a brain. I would say, like in terms of I want to become a robotic engineer. So that's my goal. And in terms of technology, I know that they have the latest and the top of the best when it comes to that area. So I know for me, working in a room with a bunch of computers and all tech stuff is like a kid working in a candy store for me. So that was really a big part of it. But I also know they would take care of me, not only as a person, but also as a player. And my style of play basketball, they play my style. It's how I want to play, spread the floor, and I get a chance to develop and increase my talent every single day.
Wow.
Got me all fired up. I just became a Ducks fan, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And I know now Mike is a little bit upset because, like I said, I know University of Connecticut was after you as well, in addition to a bunch of other schools. So, Mike, I'm sorry about that.
Listen, Ducks all the way, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, Coach Altman, great coaching staff over there. What can you relate back to Pro Scholar Athletics and I guess the Oregon model?
Like also during the process, I was talking a lot of with the coaches and the assistant because I believe it's important to. I like to where I want to go. I like to feel like I'm going home. So I think it was really important for me to go somewhere that I know who's gonna be coaching me next year. I know who's gonna be helping me to get better. I know Coach Allman. He really, I know that he want me to get better, and he will put me in position that, like what I need to do. He will find what I struggle with and help me to find those things. Coach Mike Menigan, and he has a ton of energy, and really, it's something that I match myself because like you see Coach Ike earlier, get that energy, and I know that he's all about hard work and always help me to get better every single day. Make sure I'm right. Make sure we get that extra shot every day, and something that really attracted me.
Speaking before, we heard your mindset on competing and competition every day. Pressure situations is something that is going to come up not only on the basketball court, but in life. It's a big message of what we do here at No Snooze. I want to know for you personally, what do you plan for? Give me a routine for your pressure situations and how you walk yourself through those moments.
Like I said, I talked earlier, something that I do a lot is meditation, and just kind of whenever I feel like I'm sure or I have to make a decision, I always take a step back. I think that's a major part. We take a step back, just kind of hear everything, see everything, to make sure I have a great idea of what I'm about to do or what decision I want to do. I believe there's no rush, but once you know it's the right decision, you know it's the right decision. And I always trust my gut when it comes to everything that I do.
full of such wisdom at such a young age.
Confidence too, oozing with confidence.
Yeah. So we don't love to do the advice thing, but I got a couple years on you, and I have a little bit more wisdom, a little bit. I want to personally give you this message because for me, it's something that I apply every day now, but I also wish I knew it earlier. Don't compare yourself to anybody else.
Right.
Especially on the basketball court. I mean, it's been done to you now your entire life, right? Like, for whatever reason, you weren't top 44 out of 100. You weren't 98. You weren't number 4. You were 22. You were compared. The way that you prepare for that is by instilling confidence in yourself. And now the way that you instill confidence in yourself is to make small promises to yourself and hold yourself accountable.
Right.
When you say you're going to go put up 100 shots in the gym, go put up 100 shots in the gym. Because what that did to you was just gave you a mental tick and a mental piece of confidence. Same thing in the classroom. If you say that you're going to go study for 45 minutes, go study for 45 minutes.
Right.
And it's just something that I wish I was told earlier. And I just want to share that with you here today.
Also, something that if you allow me to touch base on.
Yes.
Like a lot of these days in all high school basketball in general, a lot of kids get too much in their head about rankings. There's over 100 different ranking sites out there,
Right.
and most of the time, like kids just get much in the ranking. They want to do stuff that they think gonna get the hype of it, or that they think that are gonna put them up the rankings. But at the end of the day, that's not what college coaches look at. Your work ethic translate what you're gonna do on the court. What you're gonna do in front of the cameras don't describe who you are as a person. And that's not. I would say if I have to give an advice for all the next generation after me, don't look at the rankings. I never look at the rankings. It's often the time my friends or my teammate that would tell me, "Oh, you number so and so," and even on social media, I think one thing that going this year, what I did was I log off of social media to just kind of focus on and get time for me to make the right decision. So again, I think going off social media kind of helped me to be more present in a day-to-day basis, every minute, every second. So that also helped you just kind of grow in your mind and have confidence in yourself. Because sometimes you see something on social media and then all of a sudden you don't, then you have a game and all of a sudden you're all messed up in the head.
Yeah.
Well said by both of you. My advice is short and sweet. Block everything and dunk on everyone.
That sounds good.
Before we, I guess, wrap up here today, give us some plans for the future. And you kind of spoke on your, what you want to do at the University of Oregon. Give us, the trajectory of what you want in life, if you know what that is. Because if you don't, that's okay too.
Like I said earlier, my ultimate goal, I would say, is to become a robotic engineer. But I believe I'm also more than just that. I believe that the goal is to hopefully make it to the NBA, but not only make it, to stay and strive in the NBA. And that's my mindset as of right now, because it started yesterday, it started years ago. So that is not something that you just start putting in your mind right now. Be able to just stay and strive in the NBA. But also I want to use that platform in order to reach out more, because let's say you become an NBA player, now the whole world is open to you. You can do a lot of things, and it's all a matter of how you use your platform in order to talk about things that matter to you and how help others.
Wise beyond your years, Frank.
Yeah, I mean,
years.
it's incredible. But honestly, now I think people listening to this will understand when you accomplish everything that you just said, nobody will be surprised. Nobody. I'm serious.
Thank you.
And I know Mom is extremely proud of you.
Yes,
everybody here today is extremely proud, man. You've done phenomenal.
Thank you.
And it's incredible because you're still so young. Give us, Mike and I usually end with a quote. We're not going to do that today. We're going to give you that shine. What is something that you live by in terms of a daily quote, personal mantra?
I know that my teammate that watching this probably, they're going to recognize it, because I used to say all the time before a game. So what I say is practice like a pro, play like a pro, and live like a pro. Doesn't matter what you do, always go with a pro mindset.
Just phenomenal.
All I can
Phenomenal.
say is don't be surprised. Frank, we thank you. Guys, until next time, stop snoozing.
Get up, get after it, and let's go Ducks, baby.
Go Ducks, baby. Let's go.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
That's another Epi in the books. Go follow us on Instagram and Facebook at No Snooze Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, No Snooze.